Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So I feel like at the beginning of all my videos right now, I should be asking how everybody's doing. But you know what? I think we're all doing the same, right? We're kind of just getting through this, wishing it was over. And maybe by the time this video comes out, it will be. Who knows? Anyway, I hope that you're all doing well. We're doing fine in my family. I'm not really too happy with all this, but it is what it is. So let's do something fun today. So making a piece of jewelry that I think is just really pretty. You know, I tend to use a lot of leather and things like that. And I've got leather in this piece, but I've also got something that I think makes it look just really, really pretty. So if you want to see what I'm making today, come and join me. Okay, so to make our filigree necklace, I have approximately 65 inches of 2mm black leather. This will be customizable in that you can make it shorter or longer. I just want to make sure that if you're a larger lady, you can wear it long or you can wear it short. It's completely up to you. So we have 65 inches of 2mm leather. I also have this beautiful piece of filigree, which I just love. I have a nice little black tassel. Some of these tiara cast crimpable end caps, a toggle, and a couple bead caps, and a nice big juicy crystal, and I've got some jump rings. I also have a pair of chain nose pliers, bent chain nose pliers. We've got some cutters and some round nose pliers. So let's get started. I also forgot that we're going to be using some 22 gauge craft wire today. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut a little bit of this wire. So about 6 inches of wire. Give that a trim. Now first thing I'm going to do is sort of straighten it out. And I'm going to go about 2 inches down and I'm going to bend away. So now I'm going to go about halfway up my pliers and I'm going to make a round loop. So up and over and around, and then pull that to the back. And now I'm going to go through either end. They're both exactly the same and they're the same on the front and the back, so it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to pop that through there and now I'm going to wrap that up. And I'm going to do sort of a bulky wrap today. These have a little bit bigger hole in them, so I want to make sure it doesn't come over the end. So now if you want, you can use your fingers or you can use your pliers. So I'll show you with pliers. You go around once, twice, and now I'm going to work my way back up to the top. And if your wire breaks off, don't worry about it. You've got lots of wire there. So I just want to create a bit of a bulkier wrap there. Now I'm going to come in with my flush cutters and I'm going to use this side facing down and give that a little trim. And I want to make sure if there's a bit of a burr there that I tuck that burr in. Okay, so now I'm going to straighten that out and place on one of my bead caps, my nice big crystal, and my bead cap. And now I want to, I don't want to create a neck on here, so I'm going to turn it so that I'm looking through the loop this way, and I'm going to bend opposite like that. And that will help so that I don't have a neck on my piece here. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go halfway up, and you might have a little bit of a hard time, so you can see I go on a bit of an angle. So up and over and down, rotate, and bring that around. And now you're going to see that that is way over. You can see it's hard to turn my hand that way. So all I do is I just kind of rotate it until it's sitting right on top there, and then I just readjust that little arm. So now it makes it so that it's exactly the same as the one on the bottom. So I'm going to take that and put it right through the end of our toggle. So I'm going to use the round part of our toggle there. And then I want to get in there nice and close, and I want to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to do a couple wraps down and then a couple wraps up, just creating that bit of a bulky wrapped look. And put as many as you want to put in there. If you can get more in, put them in. If not, don't worry about it. Again, it's a customizable piece. It doesn't have to look any certain way. And always, if you've got a bit of a burr like I do there, you want to take the very end of your pliers and just kind of tuck that down, because we don't want any sharp pieces that'll catch on our clothing. So now what I can see is that this is kind of tipped down. You see how that one's straight and this one's tipped down? So I'm just going to take that and kind of pull it up a little bit, so now that it's nice and straight on there. And if you have to adjust it more, then just adjust more. We just want to have everything nice and neat while we're working on it. Okay, so now I'm going to take my leather and I am going to cut it in half. So I just find my two ends match those up, find the middle. And if you have scissors, you can use scissors. I never seem to have scissors when I'm doing these videos, so I just use my cutters. I just had a customer, or I guess a viewer, say, well, interesting, because she asked if I used cutters or scissors, and I'm like, well, I just use cutters because that's all I've got. And she said, interesting. I just thought it was kind of funny because I never think about it. I never think about scissors. So, okay, so now I'm going to take one end, or the two ends, and I'm going to place these little crimpable end caps on. Now, if this is a little bit blunt on the end, it can be a bit hard to get in there, so you might have to get some scissors and trim them, but I can usually get that in there. So I want to push it all the way in. Now, you don't have to use any glue with this. All you're going to do is take your pliers and give that a good smush. Smush is the technical term. So I don't go right up top there because I don't want to flatten too high up, but I give it some good squishes, and then I turn it over and I do the same thing. Now, if you were paranoid and worried about it, you can most definitely put a little bit of glue inside there, but I don't find that you need it. Those are on there pretty tight. So now I'm going to run my fingers down to make sure that there's no crossovers or kinks in my leather, and I want to make sure that they're the same length on either end. Now, that one you can see is a little bit off, so I'm just going to trim that up. So I just want to make sure that there's nothing crossed over, and that's why I run my fingers all the way down. So now I'm going to repeat. Put that on there and give that a good squish, and only going about 3/4 of the way up. I don't want to go all the way to the end there. Give that a good squish, and there we go. So now what I want to do is I've got these jump rings. Now, these are smaller jump rings than I like to normally use, but I wanted them the same color, and so that's all I had. So what we're going to do to remedy the sort of the weakness in them is I'm going to double them up. So I am going to open these jump rings by twisting in opposite directions, and I am going to place one through here and one through the end of my toggle. And then I just turn my pliers over and kind of jiggle it back and forth until it sort of clicks. Now I'm going to take another one and repeat in the exact same space, and that will help give it a little more oomph, I guess you could say, just to make sure that nothing's going to fall apart. So I just want to make sure that that's nice and snug in there. Tighten that up. And there we go. So, and it looks nice too. I like the double jump ring kind of look. So now I'm going to repeat on the other side. So I'm going to run one end through there and the other through the other end of the toggle and do that up. And then I'm going to add my second one on. And you can turn it around if you want to open it. These ones are pretty lightweight, so they open pretty easily. So put that through there. And then do that up. And always just make sure that it's nice and tight there, and that you don't see one side off to the other. Like if it's, you know, here, I'll show it closer. If it's like that, then it's not close. So you want to make sure that you can hear that little click. Okay, and the last thing that we're going to do is open up another jump ring. And then we're going to add our little tassel on the bottom. And then I'll show you how this front closing necklace looks. I like front closures. I think they're really smart looking. Okay, get that nice and tight, and I'll show you what it looks like. So there you go, there's our completed piece. I really love this one. It kind of reminds me of something I would have made back when I had my jewelry line. Kind of pretty and just really simple. That's the kind of jewelry I love to wear. Now, I will give you a little recommendation. If you were making this to wear for yourself, what I would do is I would crimp the one side, and then I would extend this around my neck and see where this lands. Now, it's meant to be a long piece. This one has about 5 extra inches, so you want to make sure that it hits you in the right spot. So you want to have this part just slightly below the bust line. Otherwise, you're going to end up with this part sort of hanging in the wrong place. So depending on this, the size you are, your height, your weight, your neck size, you're likely going to end up trimming some of this off. So you don't want to make it all the way like I did there. You want to make sure that you are measuring it before you crimp the second side. So just pop this one side around your neck, exactly where you would want it to fall, and then take the other side, bring it around and sort of measure that, and then trim off your leather, and then add your second crimp, and then you can build the rest of your necklace. I hope that helps a little bit with the measuring. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was lots of fun for me to put together. If you did like it, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, and please make sure to leave me a comment. I love to hear from everybody. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, well, why not? Why haven't you? It really does help me if you subscribe, so I want to thank everybody that does. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.